This episode of the Flush Podcast is brought to you by North Dakota Tourism, Federal Ammunition, Onyx Hunt, Chief Upland, and by Huron, South Dakota. We just got out of the field in western Iowa on the first leg of a 3-day, 3-state pheasant hunting road trip. My guest today is Tim Brown, the Bearded Uplander. Tim lives and hunts near the Iowa-South Dakota border. He's in prime pheasant hunting country, and bird numbers, well, we'll just tell you how strong they really are.
The Flush. So fast, it hardly seems real. So vivid, the moment freezes in time before erupting in a blur of spurs and feathers. It's why we changed the way upland loads are built with Prairie Storm. Exclusive flight control flex wad technology and a mix of copper-plated lead and flight stopper pellets combine to create dense, deadly shot strings through any choke. Longer shots, more power, fewer missed birds. Only from Federal.
If you're looking for a great bird hunting destination this season, then I strongly recommend that you consider one of my favorite places to hunt. That's North Dakota. North Dakota is a bird hunting paradise. You can hunt waterfowl and upland birds all in the same day. Ducks and geese in the morning, pheasant, sharp-tailed grouse, and Hungarian partridge in the afternoon, or vice versa. North Dakota has a population estimate of 2.9 million breeding ducks, which is 19% above the long-term average, and their prairie pothole region is smack dab in the middle of the Central Flyway. This year's drought has had an impact on North Dakota's landscape and their bird populations, but there are still regions in the state that have seen an increase in numbers this season. Yep, you heard that right. With a little scouting, you just might find yourself in the field surrounded by wild fleshing birds, creating memories that will last you a lifetime. North Dakota has approximately 800,000 acres of private land open to public walk-in hunting. For the latest plots guide, visit the North Dakota Game and Fish Department. Bag your limit this fall in North Dakota. Visit legendarynd.com to start planning your hunting adventure today. Welcome to another episode of the Flush Podcast. I'm Travis Frank. I'm your host. Brandon Morton is our producer. And once again, Brandon is probably slacking. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he's back in the Twin Cities, and I'm out in western Iowa. Now, this is my third episode in a row, I believe, out on the road. Maybe not. Maybe last week I wasn't. I don't remember anymore. They're all blending together. We're in the heart of pheasant hunting season. Upland hunting seasons around the country, and I enjoy doing these episodes from the road. My guest today is Tim Brown, the Bearded Uplander,
The
right?
Bearded Uplander, correct. Yes.
Yep. How long have you been going with that title?
I don't know. I think it's been like 3 years maybe or something like that. I mean, I've grown a beard since like 2013, so...
Gotcha. Is that when you were old enough to grow a beard?
I've probably had one since the womb if I really wanted to, but...
Gotcha.
The only hair I can grow on my head is on my face. So
Gotcha. Oh, likewise.
Right? Yeah, right. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But.
Well, over my shoulder, we were watching a hockey game. We've got 3 dogs that are curled up right now. We're at your place here, and we had just gotten out of the field, and we saw a lot of birds.
We saw a lot of birds today. Walked quite a long ways too.
Wait, what do you consider a long way?
You get around that 8-9 mile mark, and that's pretty good for an Iowa pheasant hunt. It really is.
You know, it's always relative to wherever you hunt, because I know some people that, 8-9 miles is nothing, and then other people that are like, you walked how far, and then they think that's a big deal, and I'm like, I don't know. This time of the year, our hours in the day are so short.
Yes,
and we hunted a variety of different properties, and just the time spent in the vehicle cut our hunting down by probably a third.
Yeah, probably.
We walked in the field. In Iowa, you can start hunting at 8 a.m.
8 a.m., yep.
And we were hunting just a couple minutes after 8. When we're filming, things always end up taking a little bit more time.
It wasn't much after that, though.
Yeah. And maybe 3 minutes after that, we saw 15 birds.
Yeah, I probably should have shot one.
Yeah. What happened? What the heck?
Well, my vest got in the way is the excuse I'm going to use.
And it was too close.
I didn't shoot, though. I did not pull the trigger.
Yeah.
So I didn't miss the bird. I just didn't shoot at it, which is really surprising I didn't.
Yeah, Cowboy Troy, cameraman Cowboy Troy is laughing. He's sitting on the couch. He's a big hockey fan and a goalie himself. And so he's loving that.
He might have yelled at me when I didn't shoot. I mean, he might have. He's yelled at me quite a few times today.
Yeah, well, welcome to my world, man.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. And then, when the pheasant gets up and you miss, and then I realized that the bead on the front of my gun was actually. Have you ever seen that happen? I've never seen that happen.
It happen like that. I mean, it was crooked enough to where I will give you legitimate. It could have messed your shooting up.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm going with because
I
hit a couple of birds and feathers flew and they didn't go down, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Not at all.
And now that I think about it, they were moving right to left and the bead was twisted to the left, which means I was probably aiming
in front of them, right?
No, too far behind.
Behind them. Yep, going the other way.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and also this is a couple weeks ago I had Brian Kelvington on from Federal, and late in that episode I was referencing a podcast I did last year with Scott Carlson from Carlson Choke Tubes, and Scott mentioned, because they pattern every single gun, and he mentions that Benelli's shoot a little bit high because
I heard that.
Yeah, I was off when I said that in that show. I said that they shoot low, but what I was off. It's the other way around,
so
and that way,
high.
when your bead is following the bird, you can see. They want you to be able to see your target. So it's 6 inches high, roughly, and it again pattern your guns, pattern your shotguns, so you know where they're shooting. And if I would have shot my gun with my bead off to the side, I would have known that I was way off today. You learn something new, and that's okay.
Yeah, you talk about Scott Carlson. I called him to order some choke tubes because I was going to Kansas the first time, and I actually talked to him on the phone.
Good man.
And he told me what he recommended to shoot quail in Kansas out of the gun that I was shooting. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, that right there, customer service wise, is just ridiculous. And I'm not affiliated with him by any means, but that just blows me away. If you give me good customer service, you got a
customer for life.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep. Well, so we're in the first leg right now, and I maybe should have waited to do this episode a couple days later, but we spend a lot of time on the road right now, and we have a little bit of time right now. I've got a couple hour drive tomorrow, and I wanted to talk with you, and who knows, maybe I'll do another recap after this is done for next week's show, or maybe we'll get another one in this week. But I wanted to talk to you because you and I are going to hunt 2 days together.
Yes,
and we're filming a TV show. We're doing 3 states, 3 days, and hunting a lot of public land, all wild birds, and we're on an area here. The beauty of Western Iowa is that it's not hard to cross the border, and if you were a better shot than us, you could have taken a limit today in Iowa, and then hopped across the border into South Dakota and double dipped if you wanted to. But we're not doing that. We're just going to go straight into South Dakota tomorrow, which I'm excited about. I like hunting places I've never been before, and obviously I got to do that with you today and your buddy Alan Pick.
Yep, Alan was with us.
Yep, and we had a variety of dogs in the field again today.
What did we have? We had 4 different breeds. Well, I mean, pretty much 4 different breeds in the field today.
Yeah, you've got 3 dogs. Who are your dogs here?
My oldest dog's Gus. He's retired. He might make an appearance tomorrow if we hunt something small. And then he's a German wire hair pointer.
How old? You say retired. How old is he?
He's 14 and a half.
Man.
He can't hardly see, but he was they say each bird dog that you have, you always go off the first one. And he was by far my best dog so far. I mean, Max coming into his own, and he's going to be a hell of a bird dog, but there was things that Gus knew, it was just, he knew what to do at all times.
Yeah.
So, and then you try to, like we were talking about in the truck, you try to have your next dog live up to that right away, and it's not possible.
Expectations aren't fair.
It's
on each other and on our dogs.
Man.
If we could get rid of that,
I'm telling
life would
you.
be easier.
And then you got Rue, who's in the middle. She'll be 9 in December, and she's a German wire hair pointer also. And then I've got, and she's kind of quirky in her own mind. Like today, she pointed a couple mouse nests. I mean, that's just what she does.
Solid points, though.
She was
great
locked up.
form.
She swore there was something in there.
Yeah.
And then we had a run-in with a pocket gopher today that did not make it out alive.
Well, when I was a kid, I used to trap pocket gophers for my grandpa out in the farm fields, and they used to be worth $0.25 a gopher. I don't know if there is a bounty on pocket gophers out here anymore.
I don't know, but
we could have left with money in the bank.
We could have probably made over $100 in that field.
There were a lot of them. That was a hard field to walk in.
That was a hard field to walk into.
Yeah, pheasants ran very well in that field. We did not run at all.
We did not.
Yeah.
And then I got my youngest dog, Mac, who's a German short hair. And he had a little run-in with, I thought was something wrong with his leg last week, but there was no problem today. He didn't have any issues at all.
He looked 1,000%.
Yeah.
So what happened?
He got out of the truck and he yipped, and then he pulled his back left leg up. So I thought he broke it. So I took him to the vet. We did x-rays, and there was no break. And the vet thought it could have been ACL because he would not put any weight on it, would not let me touch it. So I was, like you always do, kids, dogs, you think it's the worst. You think exactly it's going to be an ACL and it's going to be, so much rehab and so much money to fix it. And then the next morning he started putting weight on it, which the vet said he wasn't sure that if it was an ACL or not. You can't really tell, but give it a week, see if he'll walk on it. The next day he put a little bit of weight on it, and then the next day he was like it was normal. So I waited a week. I didn't hunt him for a week, and then now he's full bore, 1,000%. I'm not even worried about him one bit.
Yeah.
After watching him run across that field after that bird, I wasn't worried about it at all.
Yeah. He almost had a 600-yard retrieve.
It was a long stinking ways.
Yeah, we were fortunate to hunt some properties today. We hunted a bunch of public grass acres this morning, and then this afternoon we
county conservation stuff.
Yep. And then there's so the walk-in access program in Iowa continues to grow. I don't know what the amount of acres are, but
it's a lot.
It's a lot of land that has been really well manicured. For my couple times hunting down here in Iowa, those acres are full of birds. The blue stem is gorgeous. Sometimes, I'm not a tall man, so they go over my head pretty easy. But there's just some beautiful properties. But we also hunted some grass that was right next to corn that just came out, and that was the big. Those birds hadn't seen a dog yet because
they haven't seen
the
nothing.
corn just came out. And, and I'm surprised because I've been around bird country the last couple of weeks, and in Minnesota specifically, and the Dakotas, the corn has been out for quite a while. And I'm driving down here yesterday, and there's a lot of combine going on as we speak.
Yeah, we had rain. We didn't get any rain all summer long when the corn really needed it. And then right in the middle of harvest, like right on Iowa's opener that week, we got just absolutely dumped on. And that held everything back, So it is what it is. Personally, this is my thought on it. I like it because you get some people that just hunt that opening weekend. Mm-hmm. And if the corn's out, I mean, they're educating and shooting a lot of birds, which is fine. I want them to. But if people would just wait, I mean, I don't want to really drop too much information, but if you just wait until that corn's out, it gets so much better.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we saw that, obviously.
Yeah.
Maybe 75-ish birds in a single draw that we walked.
Yeah.
And we saw, I would guess, that first piece of property walk this morning, maybe another 35, 40 birds, something along those lines.
Yeah, because there was probably 2 groups of 20 that got up on each end there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And they're all still there.
They're all still there.
For anybody that wants to go.
Actually, some of them might be in South Dakota right now because they did fly across. Some of them flew across the river.
Yeah. So that's a cool thing about where you live. I mean, you're in a pretty incredible country. And you told me yesterday when we got into town that you moved here just to do what we're doing right now.
Just to do what we're doing right now.
So have you always been a pheasant hunter?
Yeah, there was when the bird numbers were real low back in eastern Iowa. Like, what was it, like 2007-ish, 2008-ish? I went to deer hunting quite a bit. And but then I came up here for the first time 16 years ago and with a friend and
just on a hunting trip?
Yep. He's from here, so we came to his in-laws and we hunted and I didn't have a dog and I'm like, you know what? I want to do this every time because we shot the heck out of them. Mm-hmm. And right there in my mind, I'm like, next year I'm getting a dog, and that's when I got Gus. And I'm like 5 years into it with Gus, and I'm like, he needs every advantage to hunt birds every day. So it's like, I need to make it a point to move up here, and that's what I did.
What do you do when you're not chasing pheasants?
Well, for work, I sell filtration, so I'm on the road quite a bit. But in the summertime, it's just golf and fishing. That's about it.
So when you're on the road, do you constantly have your Onyx app open to drop pins?
All the time.
I mean, you're driving through this country. You got to be
time.
like, I got to hunt there. I want to hunt there.
Yeah, and I do a lot of e-scouting too, and then I drop pins where I think maybe. And that's the beauty of Onyx too. You can color code it.
I was going to say the color coding is so helpful.
I do. Yeah. Like out in Wyoming where I was, last year when I went sage grouse hunting, I was specifically putting pins that I didn't know where they were at. And then when I did see some birds, I changed it to a different color.
Yeah, so if you run your colors to say, like, here's a spot that looks good, and then I change them when, I confirm there's birds 100%, there.
100%, that's what I'm going to do.
I was talking to somebody the other day about this, and I remember hunting with the Atlas, the Road Atlas, and how easy it is to zoom in on a region now and find, there's a public property there. Oh yeah, that's a Pheasants Forever property, or that's a walk-in access. If we didn't have this in our palm, flipping pages and be like, I don't know if that's, it wouldn't highlight it on a piece of paper on the Atlas that's 10 years old right now. So, I mean, just the advantages that we have today is it's great for, let's say I'm the only one that has that. Awesome.
Yeah, right.
But everybody has that. So now it's all evened it back out again.
Yep.
And if you don't have it, then I think you're at a disadvantage if you're a public land hunter like us.
And especially now, if you're a deer hunter with that DeerCast app, they went together and merged it all in one, which everybody that I know has that DeerCast app that deer hunts. And I'm not a deer hunter, so I don't care, but
I am. I just got out of the woods
and
drug a couple of giant bucks off of some public land.
You did too. Those were good deer.
Oh gosh, I really struggle this time of the year with. My wife is a saint. I'll just say that.
I've never met her, but she has to be.
She has to be. Yeah, it's a short little window every year that comes, and I say October 15th through November 15th are the best 30 days of the entire year. And I would probably drag that into almost December 1st because, man, the migration's on, the crops are coming out, the bucks are rutting. I mean, grouse hunting is great. Pheasant hunting is phenomenal. I mean, it's just everything is happening right now. And unfortunately, the days are so short.
Yes. And it's probably a good thing that it's that way, that everything's at the same time, because nobody would be married if it was that way.
If it was
spread out all through the year, nobody would be married.
Yeah, God bless the wives that put up with us.
That's true.
That chase. And, I love that there's so many more wives that are coming out in the field, too.
Yeah.
And mine has joined me, and that's what makes it a lot of fun. My kids come with. I'm on the road for work right now, but when I'm not, they're in the blind with me. They're walking behind Daisy, and it's just our life. We love it. We absolutely love it. But
we need more parents like you to do that stuff.
I thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah. But I agree. I think, I've talked about this plenty on this podcast, how important it is to make it normal.
Yes.
This hunting lifestyle, just a normal thing for your life. I mean, I had one of the best venison tenderloins I've ever made the other night.
I was drooling when you were talking about it.
Yeah, I used the Waltons. They've got a steak and roast rub, and really? I've given it to a handful of buddies too, and they're all like, that's the best steak seasoning ever. So highly recommend it. It's just So dang good. And then I've got a Camp Chef smoker, and I just cranked up the heat on that to like 400, and I put the tenderloin in there, and I did wrap around bacon on it, which
Sure.
I know a lot of people use that for flavor. I like to have other juices mix in there, so it just kind of like soaks in. And my wife even my kids hammered it. That's why I need to shoot more deer, I guess.
Yeah. Deer, I guess I got to go to Iowa. I got to go to Kansas. I got to go to all these states to shoot more deer.
Yes, exactly. There's not enough days. Anyway, I always get sidetracked, and I'm sidetracked again. Let's get back to the whole topic here. Okay, so you moved in from Eastern Iowa.
Yep, over by Iowa City, Cedar Rapids area.
You told me the other, I don't remember, a couple weeks ago or something, that you I don't know, is it with the state that you work with, the state of Iowa, that you do roadside counts for them?
No, I just do it on my own.
Oh, for the heck of it.
Excuse me. Yeah, just on my own. Since I've lived up here for 5 years, I've got like a 25 miles, I think it is, that I drive the roads.
Okay.
First week of August.
You don't hand that information over to anybody?
I've never been asked by anybody.
Okay.
I probably should.
What do you take out of that count? Are you keeping track?
Just to get an idea.
So where are we at in comparison to past years then?
Based
on this would be
I was
unofficial.
worried.
Are we calling it official? The Bearded Uplander log? Or
sure,
is it, okay,
we can do that. Yeah.
These are official numbers.
I was worried. I was really worried because I average, so I do it for 5 days straight. It's usually the first week of August. And I do it every morning, and I go drive that 25 miles, and I do the counts, and I actually get out and I flush the birds out of the ditch so I can count them all.
You mean if you see one run down
birds
the road?
on the road, I'll get out and I'll flush the whole covey, or the whole, what do you want to call it, brood.
Yeah. And
I do the count that way. So in the years past, the last 2 years, just off the top of my head, I averaged 89 one year and then 96 the year before. And this year I had 37.
Wow.
I was worried, extremely worried. But the only thing that I could tell was we had a pretty good drought up here. We didn't have a whole lot of rain. And there was really one day where there was dew on it, and I had over 50 birds that day. So I think the dew brought them out of the corn, got them to the road to where they like to dry off. But the other days there was no dew, so I don't think they left corn. And judging from what I've seen since opener,
your counts don't.
My count didn't mean crap this year.
Aren't very accurate.
It didn't mean crap this year.
Which leads me to wonder how accurate a lot of other states' counts really are.
Yeah.
You know, we talk for weeks leading up to seasons, and we say, oh gosh, well, roadside counts are down here, roadside counts are up there. And then you get into the field and birds are like, I don't know about them counts.
My most liked account is the guys run the combine.
Yeah.
And if you know it's a farmer that does not give a crap about a pheasant or anything, and he's saying that he's seeing birds, there's probably a lot of birds out.
Yeah.
And that's what I heard this year.
So being an Iowa pheasant hunter for many years, you've seen it crash. And do you feel like it's in a good place right now?
I do. I really do, because even in Eastern Iowa where I'm from, like my oldest brother, my middle brother, he's still out there, and they're seeing more birds.
Right now, he's out in the field walking.
He was. What was he today? No, yesterday.
4 hours after legal shooting.
Oh yeah. No, he's not walking now, but he hunts too, and he's seen a lot more birds. So
nice. Yeah, because I here are the roadside counts that we're talking about are up over on the eastern side of Iowa too.
Yes.
I mean, in that northeast, east, north central kind of are the place to
that north central. I hunted that last year by Mason City and Storm Lake.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. They put our numbers to shame.
I was going to ask, how would you rate that hunt over there versus here?
I saw a lot more birds.
Are you just saying that so nobody comes over and hunts by you?
No. I mean, we've got good numbers, but that I don't know what it is about that I-35 corridor. You get so many miles on each side, and it is just lights out. But everybody everybody over there, if you drive Highway 20, everybody over there has got the stuff like we hunted today. The buffer strips on each side of the creek.
Yeah.
And I think if everybody would do that, oh my goodness, we would. I was telling Alan today, we would rival South Dakota if every farmer had those buffer strips on their creeks.
Well, this used to be the pheasant hunting capital of America, Iowa. And then obviously we lost way too much grass here and the numbers crashed. But this used to be the place that people traveled to hunt. And obviously this soil is fertile, and if you plant the right cover, the right grass, the right habitat, it grows incredibly well and provides everything they need.
And there's plenty of food out there. We saw that today.
Yeah.
Combines missed a lot. And like the farmer that we talked to said, he said it was a pretty bad drought and he was worried, but they had really good crop. So,
I
mean, I don't blame the farmer for doing what they've got to do. It's not anything against them. They're trying to make money too. So it's just getting them to the point where maybe, hey, the government, or, you can get this put in this program that is going to give you as much as probably what you're making out of your grain right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just to put a buffer strip on each side of your creek so you don't have any erosion, which helps you out in the long run.
Well, and so we're kind of in the Les Hills area here.
Yep.
We're outside of it a little bit, but it's not a flat area. This is not flat country at all. And a lot of these cornfields and soybeans, they've got, what do you call that strip? Like on the side hills, there's
it's a terrace.
A terrace? Okay, so terrace. There's 15 yards, maybe 20 yards, maybe 10, depending, but these little strips. And I feel like some of those have enough cover to rear a brood earlier in the spring, then you've got all that food all year long, and every field around here has
every field has them,
maybe dozens of those running through them. So obviously that helps. Obviously it does make a difference. And so that's, if those acres that probably can't really be farmed well go into grass, I think it makes a big difference. And a couple of years ago, I filmed an episode down here too, and we hunted some of that. There was just this property that this landowner did not have a good return on his on his investment on corn and soybeans. It was just so steep. And he said, you know what, I'm going to stop fighting it. I'm going to just put it into some grass. Got the CRP contract. And I think it was 4 years or something prior to that grass going in. There was not one pheasant on that property. Right. And we saw hundreds in that amount of time. They grow really fast. They grow like the blue stem out here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, when they first got transplanted, how fast they spread like wildfire when they come across, what is that, late 1800s or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was wildfire.
Yeah. We're gonna cross the border here in a second, but first I have a quick message from a couple of our sponsors. Onyx Hunt is one of them. Besides a bird dog, a shotgun, and a good pair of boots, the Onyx Hunt app is one of the most valuable hunting tools that we take into the field every day. I've been talking about the Onyx Hunt app since we started producing this show, and that's because I use it on every hunt. Their app tells me everything that I need to know about the lands that I want to hunt and the lands that we can all legally hunt. If you've used it yourself, then you know that the Onyx Hunt app shows your location on planet Earth and clearly lays out the land boundaries. It also tells you information about the type of property that you're on, like state-owned land, federal lands, and walk-in access properties. It's ideal for scouting before the hunt and during a hunt to help put together patterns. The app also has new features this year that show you the kind of crops that are in fields, which obviously is a big deal for us upland bird hunters. If you hunt grouse in the north woods, there's a timber cut layer to help you find the ideal habitat. You can even separate young aspens. That's amazing. If you're planning to hunt in North Dakota this year, there's a very important layer that has been added as well. For the first time, landowners in North Dakota can post their property electronically. Onyx Maps have you covered to make sure you don't cross the line on property that has been posted electronically. These are just a few of the tools Onyx Maps give us, and these maps can even be used in areas without cell coverage. From the palm of your hand, Onyx Maps always help you to know where you stand. For generations, bird hunters have hit the fields carrying some form of a vest or game pouch on their back. Sometimes the vest rip, tear, and fall apart. Other times, they are downright uncomfortable. That's why Chief Upland designed a vest that's durable, comfortable, and fits your needs. Their new Upland vest is fully customizable to fit the size and shape of all hunters. Plus, you decide where you want to attach your shell pouches and accessories. Birds can be front-loaded into the game pouch, and they fit nicely in the back without sagging. That's a big deal because the weight disbursement on your back and shoulders won't tire you out on a long hunt in the field, even with a full pouch of birds. The vest itself is extremely lightweight, weighing only 2.56 pounds. The material is built out of Cordura fabric, which is the same waterproof fabric used in tactical military gear. You can confidently hunt with a Chief Upland vest in some of the world's toughest environments. Order your Chief Upland vest now to make sure that you're ready for your next hunt. Push further and hunt longer with a game-changing vest from Chief Upland, built for your pursuit. All right, so today the weather was 64 degrees, it said in my truck, with the south wind blowing 15-ish.
15, 20-ish.
Yeah, something like that. We're going to wake up tomorrow, and it's going to be, I think, 40 and dropping with a steady northwest wind.
Yeah.
20, 30.
Something
higher
like
than that, maybe.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Cowboy Troy does not like to hear this, but
He's not a happy camper.
Yeah, it's incredible. You had snow here a couple days ago.
Yep.
Then it didn't hit 70 like they were talking. Thank goodness, because that would have been too much. But even the mid 60s that we saw today was, Tomorrow we're going to be bundled up most likely because that stiff northwest wind. And what are your expectations? We're crossing the border. We're going into South Dakota. And what kind of properties do you want to hunt there?
We're going to hunt a few walk-in areas that I've hunted in the past and have done really well. They're big blocks. So there's going to be birds in there. Doesn't matter how many people hunt it. There's going to be birds in there.
Yeah.
And I think if we take a little bit of a different approach and not go to the parking lot and we start somewhere else in the field, I think we're going to be really good. We're really well off there.
Yep.
And then I have in my back pocket a really good spot that if we need to go to.
Let's get in your back pocket right off the bat.
We can do that too.
I like going to the good stuff right away.
We can do that too. The farmer said that when he combined it, there is a ton of birds in it. So, and last year in this little spot of cattails, we had a 2-man limit in 5 minutes.
Wow. So the one thing that the last couple weeks out in this beautiful weather that we've been having is don't have to hunt cattails right now.
No, thank goodness.
I know. Everyone loves cattails, right? Well, you don't have to go in there this time of the year, which is phenomenal. I keep catching myself heading that way just out of instinct. And there are birds in there too, but just that wide open, not wide open, but that thinner all season grass is holding plenty of birds right now as well. How do you think the bird numbers are better, worse over in South Dakota versus this part in Western Iowa?
Well, I do know that in the last couple of years since they've had the bounty on the egg eaters and the the raccoons and possums and stuff like that, my farmers over there have noticed an uptick in birds.
Really?
Yeah.
And they attribute it to the bounty?
Yeah, because the one farmer that I know real well, he and his dad, I cannot remember what it was. They took like hundreds of raccoons.
Really?
Off of their properties, and they said this year they can see more pheasants, which I have to attribute that to that because they've got the same exact kind of terrain that we have over here.
Yeah. Do you know if there's any research to back that up? I mean, obviously,
probably not.
There has to be some.
Well, there's a reason they did it.
There's a reason they did it. Yeah, and some people would say, nah. Don't think that's going to do much. Other people say, at least give it a try, And a lot of times the people that are on the land, that run the land, they know the land better than anybody else. So if they're saying that they're seeing a difference, then I'm going to believe them a lot of times. And maybe there's other factors that we don't know about. Maybe it was just the right precipitation, the right temperatures during nesting. For whatever reason, there's more. But hey, nobody's going to complain about.
I'm on the board of saying it can't hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, because a possum and a raccoon they're gonna take every advantage they can, which everything would. So
I think the number one predator would be avian.
Yeah,
on these birds. But yeah, I mean, if there's 40 more pheasants on a property, that can really boost the overall numbers. If half of those are hens or 2/3 of them are hens and they have big broods. So
I would think that that's what we saw today. Wouldn't you say 2/3 of them birds we saw today were hens?
probably, yeah. And they were still. So your season opened here in Iowa 2 weeks ago. We're just in the second or the start of the third week.
Yeah, it opened the last weekend of October. So yeah.
Yep. So yeah, third week. Yeah. Okay.
Third week, yeah.
So a lot of the roosters we saw today there were some young ones where we didn't pull the trigger, and then I was like, nope, that was a rooster.
There was one I thought was a hen.
Yeah.
I swore it was a hen, and you guys like, no, that was a young rooster. I'm like, well, crap. Don't listen to me anymore.
Right. And it feels like we're a little late in the season to be seeing that young of birds, which tells me we had a really late hatch, which that's good.
Yeah. Hey, as long as she's having a brood. I've never seen, I was talking to Jared Wickland on our podcast and from Pheasants Forever, and he said that they had a transmitter on a hen and she had a brood. I don't want to mess it up. I think he said into August. Her brood was hatched in August.
So does that, I think that means that she had a failed nest.
Yeah. There's so many different things, but I mean, from everybody that I hear from biologist wise, that if she sat on the nest and it doesn't happen, then it's done or something like that.
I've talked to biologists in the past and listened to other podcasts and try to learn as much as everybody else. And you want that first hatch to go well, because typically the first hatch is going to be the largest hatch.
Yep.
If they'd go a second time, generally it's a little bit smaller. If they would do a third like that, you might be talking, half or a third of what the first batch could have been. So, but the fact that they continue going is a testament to how strong these dang birds are
tough,
down
man.
here. You mentioned on your podcast, so you have your podcast as well. What's it called?
Yeah, Heartland Legacy Podcast. A friend of mine, Nolan Rolston, and I got together and started about a year ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I started it because I wanted to have something to where I talked about my trips with my dogs is what it started out to be. And then it kind of snowballed, and I brought Nolan on, and we started doing the whole board of deer, waterfowl, upland.
Turkeys, probably.
Turkeys. We had Dave Owens on, which is the Pinotti Project. That was a great podcast. We had Jim Shockey on, which that was larger than life. You know how he is.
Yeah.
And it just kind of snowballed into that, and we're gaining speed. I mean, we're picking up speed, and we want to talk about things that normal people like us talk about. Like, we want to know what it means to you to be out in the field with, like you said, with your kids or your wife or your dogs. What part of it makes you happy, and what you want your legacy to be. I mean, we all have a legacy that we want to do, and if we can do the right thing in the outdoors, it just makes it that much better.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned this, I think, last week when I had Scott on, but life is really short and days go flying by. We had one today, and I know we're all working, and opportunities aren't always there, but sometimes there's a chance to go do something that you've wanted to do for a while, and you fill that time with stuff that you kind of might regret, or I've done it anyway. And I say, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to make the most of it. And if it's just getting in the car and going for a drive and getting up early to go walk something like we did today.
Yeah.
If you're in the Twin Cities, or if you're in Illinois or something, I mean, it's not that far.
Not really.
Maybe you got to take a PTO day and come out a day early and
just to get your mind right.
Yeah, exactly. And go for a walk and hunt places that you've never been before. I know a lot of people that hunt upland birds or hunt pheasants, and they might do it once or twice a year, and they say, well, it's too far to go. And the reality is, maybe I'm less than 4 hours from my house right now,
Right.
and I'm in very birdie country.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is something that a lot of people could do. There's a campsite. I pulled my ice castle down here to camp in this town, and it's $10 to camp.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
$10.
$10.
Yeah. 1 tank of gas up, 1 tank of gas back.
And you could do what we're doing. You can hunt both sides of the river if you really wanted to.
Yeah. The one thing that I love about Iowa is I just bought my license, and I could come down here many more times if I want to.
I think he's trying to give us a hint here. He might want to come back.
Maybe. But what I'm getting at is, what the heck is wrong with South Dakota? Why do I buy a license in South Dakota and I have to pick 5 days or 4 days or whatever it is right now?
Try living less than a mile away from the state.
Yeah. How many licenses do you have to buy if you want to go over there? Because we're going to go tomorrow and you're only good for 5 days.
Yeah. But, I mean, the good thing is I have 5 days left over from my trip to the national grasslands. So
yeah, but still, I mean,
it still sucks.
Every other state that I go to, I buy a license and I can hunt. If we're not far from Nebraska, and I was just down there a month ago hunting prairie chicken, I would like to go back down there and hunt for pheasants and quail, and maybe I'll do. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'll end up doing that again. But I don't know. I guess I just.
Yeah,
if we're trying to make it accessible, and I guess I don't know. I'm not really sure where I'm going with this, but
I think they know what they have, and the state's taking advantage of knowing that this is what we have, and we're going to make a lot of money off of people coming pheasant hunt. So we're going to do it this way, which as long as they're using the money the right way, I guess I can get on board.
Put it back into the ground, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So what's on tap for you the rest of this season besides tomorrow? Joining me back in the field.
We're going to go to South Dakota.
Or me joining you, I should say.
I think in January we're going to make a trip down to Kansas.
Okay.
I was supposed to go this weekend, but the reports that I got from the place that we stay and the farmer there, it doesn't sound like a lot was left for the birds. So we're not going to go down there this year. January will be a little better. We're going to go a little farther west and get into a lot more walk-in areas.
Right on.
And that's probably going to be it for me this year.
Well, obviously, you're going to be hunting
around here. I'll be hunting around here.
These Iowa
constantly.
birds, these Iowa roosters don't stand a chance.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well,
I missed today. I don't know.
I mean, we
You jinxed me yesterday when we did the interview for the TV show.
Did somebody twist your sight around on your barrel too?
No, nobody twisted my barrel. Nobody twisted my sight. No.
Well, we have enough for pheasant tacos. We'll just say that.
That's
we
true.
didn't leave that field without any.
That is true.
Without any birds. We took it more than a handful of them out of there,
we did.
and it was just a real pleasure to.
And they were all young birds.
Yeah,
they were all young birds.
We didn't have any that I would say were last year's roosters.
No, I don't think
there were
so
a couple. We talked about this walking out of the field. They were getting up 6, 8 at a time, at 15 at a time at a couple different spots.
Yeah.
But those roosters have just a knack for getting up just at the right time, and the big one, and then all of a sudden the one that stays.
Yeah.
It seemed like this was his first encounter with the dog, and you could tell.
Yes.
And he's gonna be tacos now.
Yep. He was locked down on that one pretty good.
What's your favorite pheasant recipe?
I like making them into tacos. I like you have to brine them, in my opinion.
What do you brine with?
I use water, kosher salt, brown sugar. And then
how long?
24 hours usually. Okay. And I usually do it when I soak them before I put them in the bags in the freezer.
Yeah.
So I get the brine out of the way right away. So then they're ready to, because I'll put them in a marinade if I make tacos or something like that.
What's your marinade? Is there a certain box or you
I
have your own?
I use lemon juice and some I can't remember what chipotle, or not chipotle, but some kind of Mexican seasoning.
Okay.
And then pepper and red pepper flakes, and just let it sit for a couple hours, and then fry them real fast, or not fry them, but put them on a pan real fast.
Yeah, don't overcook them.
Nope, 135, and I'll cut them.
Yeah,
because that's the way that I do them sharp tail too, and I think they taste just like venison.
I don't think you answered this question.
What did I forget?
more pheasants across the border in South Dakota or not? Besides the landowner saying that he's seeing an uptick. And I'm gonna have my own say after the next couple days because I'm going from Iowa to South Dakota, then I'm gonna hunt Minnesota.
Yeah.
And that's just this 3-day trip right now.
You're gonna do really well up in Minnesota with my buddy. You're gonna do really well up there.
Yeah, I've had great Minnesota hunts already. I mean, really, there's not some people might complain and say, there's not as many birds as they would want, or, I used to go out and I'd have my limit by noon or something, and that's fine, I guess, if that's what you really want is just to walk out and shoot 2 times or 3 times and then go back in. But if you want an actual hunt, it's rewarding as heck to go on these properties and be like, they outsmarted us, but they're still here.
They whooped our butt.
So now what are we going to do? Yeah, exactly. But like you said, you just got done saying we're going to go in from a different direction.
Yeah.
Because South Dakota season has been open 2 weeks longer than Iowa's.
Yes.
So they've been hunted a little bit harder.
Yeah.
But again, the crops are regional. They don't know a state boundary, and the weather, obviously. So I'm assuming a lot of these cornfields have been just recently picked on the southern part of or southeast part of South Dakota.
Yeah, I think there might be a few cornfields left in still, but they should all. I know the opener they were all in.
Yeah,
because I had a friend from Missouri that was up. That they come up and they have some access to some property just across the river, and they didn't even hunt half of it because it was all corn all around it. Yeah.
Well, that bodes well for you and me.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, there's going to be birds there. I don't know if it's as good as over here, but it's got to be close.
I feel like you're starting to get a lot of Minnesota hunters to come down here. I know several that come down from Minnesota. In the past, a lot of those hunters were crossing the border to the west, going into South Dakota. And that tells me that in the last 5 years, we've really seen numbers in Iowa increase a lot for pheasants. And people for a couple of years were like, shh, don't say anything.
I don't say anything to my exact locations where I hunt, but I mean, if you really wanted to dive into it, you can find where they can
pull up your address on a map.
Yeah.
You could probably annex your name and
it's in there. Yeah. My house is under my name. So it is what it is. I mean, it's not a secret. I mean, but go to South Dakota though. There's more birds over there.
Well, that's what I was going to say. In Minnesota, a lot of the hunters would say, I just drove 3 hours to go pheasant hunt, and now I'm at the border. You could hunt on the east, the western side of Minnesota and have pretty good hunting.
Yep.
But a lot of people would say, I'm this far, I'm going to go another hour, and now I'm flushing South Dakota's pheasants.
Yeah.
And there's just something about shooting a South Dakota pheasant that must feel just right. But it leaves for a while there, I knew a lot of people that lived in southwest Minnesota that said we were flyover country. We're just part of, an area that people, if they're going to travel this far, they're going to go just a little further to get into South Dakota, which meant that a lot of those public acres, a lot of those public acres weren't being hunted, especially 2 weeks after the season.
Yeah.
I think what we're seeing now, and it's a great thing, but it's that balance too that we all as hunters want is we love being able to go hunt public land, but there's a lot of people hunting public land.
Yeah, it's one of them.
And so, being able to say, okay, I see you're there. I'm going to give that entire piece to you. I'm not going to hunt that, or I'll wait till you're done, and being more considerate. We're in the heart of season right now.
Yes.
And I would say you probably see it here a lot that as a season goes on longer and longer, you see less and less hunters out there.
Yeah. Once it gets past Thanksgiving, it really slows down here. I mean, and that's part of the reason too. Our Iowa's gun season starts the first weekend in December. So that next 3 weekends, usually people want to go hunt deer instead. And that's a really good time. I mean, that's a really good time to come hunt Iowa for birds if you really want to, is the weeks of the deer seasons. And if you stay up on the northern parts of the state, like from I-35 west, if you stay up in that area, I mean, we don't have a ton of deer up here. There's not a lot of shotgun hunters up here. But now I'm not saying go to southern tiers of Iowa and try to shoot quail during shotgun season. That's just not a really good idea.
Yeah. Know your area. The other thing, too, that I've talked about this months and months ago, but I have no problem stopping and talking to a farmer and asking them if it's okay for me to take my dog for a walk out on their property. I mean, I love hunting on public lands, but a lot of deer is number one, always nationwide, number one. And sometimes, like this farmer today said, go ahead. I don't have a dog and I don't go out there. He hunts deer on the property, but you run into these kinds of landowners and, it's nice to shake their hand and say thank you. And it allows you to hunt an area that most people that are just going from one public property to the next don't even stop and knock, and they might say yes. And I think I'm like 6 for 6 already on the last 6 farmers that I've stopped to talk
you're
to.
Doing pretty good.
I know my average is way up there. I might have been told no, but I don't remember. And it's just a reminder to people that it's okay to stop and ask permission, and you might be surprised.
I live by the rule that the worst thing they can say is no.
Yeah.
And then you just move on to the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. And, have that polite conversation with them, too.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, I know people that have helped by pulling somebody out of the ditch and then get permission that way if, just be polite and offer to help, or if they need some help, or, when you're done hunting, go buy them, their favorite drink, or a 30-pack of Busch Light usually goes a long way in Iowa.
There you go. On that note, we are going to wrap this up. I may do another recap of the other 2 states, but so far, so good.
So far, so good.
One day in the bag, and
one day at a time.
We're in triple digits as far as pheasants that we flushed today. A lot of roosters out there.
A lot of roosters.
A lot of them are still out there.
They're still
that's
out
a good thing for the rest of you that want to come down here and hunt. And who knows? I'm going to guess that most of them are still going to be there tomorrow when we leave South Dakota. But hey, we're going to go hunt in South Dakota for pheasants.
That's right. We're going to South Dakota.
We're going to South Dakota. It's got to be better over there.
It's got to be better.
It's the capital.
It is. I swear it is. Just go to South Dakota. If you drive 300 miles, just keep going to South Dakota.
I will be so disappointed if they don't start flushing when I walk into the grass, because it's just we'll have our limit by noon, right?
I hope so.
Ooh. Any predictions?
I don't know. It just depends on if that sight's twisted or not.
There we go. Yeah, you'll be able to watch that on TV. Speaking of, our episodes are still airing right now on the Outdoor Channel. We are in middle of November right now, which means you've got a month and a half left to watch each of our new episodes this season on the Outdoor Channel, and then they will be streaming on our YouTube channel, so you can find and subscribe to that on our website, which is theflush.tv, and our social media handles are theflushtv. I've had a handful of listeners say that they've kind of like this up-to-date information, I guess, as far as what we're seeing in the field, and said that they would like to call in and do a podcast. So if you're a listener that wants to be on this podcast, maybe this is a good invitation for you to send us a message. You can send it to me direct or to our social media pages. I think we're going to do a show here in the next week or 2 or 3, and we're going to kind of do a quick 10-minute interview. Who knows? Once we start talking, we're going to have plenty of stories, but from around bird country, and get fresh reports from all of our listeners. So send us some messages. We will set that up. Brandon, I'm going to put him to work one of these days. He's got to get back to work because I have been pulling his weight.
Slacker.
He's slacking. And I'm taking him pheasant hunting too. Now here I am sidetracked again.
Yeah, well, that happens.
It happens. That's okay. It's
what we do.
It's what we do. It's what we do. I'm Travis Frank, reminding you to introduce someone new to the field. It just may change their life. We'll catch you next week on another episode of the Flush Podcast.